House hunting, apartment hunting, it's very much like dating. First impressions, patience, compromise, gut feeling. I never realized. It took me about 9 months of actively looking to finally find her, my new little nest. And let me tell you, these past few months have not been easy. It's been 9 months of going on viewing after viewing, speaking to every realtor in town, checking all the property listing sites 1,000 times a day. I've been questioning myself, doubting myself, feeling like maybe I'm expecting too much, and maybe I just have no idea what I want, which is why I can't find it.
Okej, letat lägenhet i seriöst typ 6 månader. Kollat varenda dag, typ 100 gånger om dagen. Gått på typ 100 visningar och jag känner mig typ utbränd. Tydligen så kan man bli utbränd av att hitta ett hem. Och jag försöker att hålla mod. Is i magen. Jag har haft så mycket is i magen att jag har blivit till en frys. Och jag är trött på att vara en frys.
Two times, I lost a bid for apartments I really wanted, and both times I had let myself get emotionally attached.
Alltså hjälp, fy fan. Herregud. Åh gud.
I would fantasize about my morning coffee by the window and how I would get ready to start my day. I would mentally move in, which I really don't recommend doing, because if you end up losing the bidding war, which sometimes has been a week-long process or longer, your heart might break. Mine definitely did. So I lost the bidding. A little bit shaky, to be honest, because I talked to my bank and everything was set, and then someone decided to go over last minute. You can't always get what you want. I've done like all the calculations and everything for nothing. Nothing. Right, it is what it is. But what made these past few months especially difficult for me was not having a real home of my own. See, I made the mistake of selling my last apartment before buying a new one. Another mistake I don't plan on ever making again. So, for the last, 7, 8 months, I've basically been living in between places. Spent a few nights on couches with all my belongings spread across the homes of people who have been generous enough to host me. Am I grateful? Of course, the fact that I even get to look for a home in the first place. But I've missed having late night dinners with friends and stumbling back home at 1 a.m. I've missed not having to put pants on to go to the kitchen. I've missed hosting brunches and dinners. I've missed having my studio set up to film videos. But hey, we're here now, and I'll be spending the next few months renovating and decorating a new place, and I'm so excited to bring you all along. Now, I've learned a lot these past few months, not just about buying a home, but about life and about myself. And I would like to share some of that. So this video is going to be kind of a self-reflection, open journal entry style video, and I hope you'll enjoy.
None of this would have been possible without all of you guys' support throughout the years, through this community that we have built together. Being able to make a living doing what you love, I think, is a dream for many people, and we are so incredibly lucky today to have so many resources available to us right at our fingertips, where you can learn almost anything from home on your computer. Not to go on a tangent, but I'm old enough to remember having to go to the library to find a relevant book to look something up. Now we have resources like Skillshare, who I'm so excited to partner with on this video. I actually think they were one of the first to sponsor me 4 or 5 years ago, and I've loved working with them ever since. And I actually have my own class on Skillshare that I really poured my heart into. It's called Memoir Journaling, Make Your Life Richer Through Stories, and that class reveals the very foundation, I guess, of how all of the ideas for my videos are born. But there are so many other classes that you can take, whether you want to learn the basics of watercolor painting or learn how to start your own creative business. Skillshare has classes to take you from beginner to pro alongside a supportive community. Now, if you're a creator like me, wanting to take the steps to make it a full-time thing, I highly recommend checking out the class Make Creativity Your Career: 6 Exercises to Create a Successful Side Project by Andy Pizza. It's quite short and to the point, and I personally really like that. And now if you want to get creative and learn something new, the first 1,000 of you that use the link in my description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. It's a great opportunity. I've used it for years, learned a ton, and so can you. Alright, so this is the day after I got my key. What? I didn't get my keys. The day after I signed contract. Yeah, I feel like I've been at war for, that's dramatic, but you know what I mean, for these past many months, like all of 2023. Wait, are we in 2023? Yeah, we are. And it's so weird that this war is over. I mean, it's a good weird, but it's still weird. I'm just excited to start planning everything and the renovations and all of that. It's feeling a bit surreal, but in the best way possible. Desperation can lead you to making really dumb decisions. I think we've all at some point made decisions out of desperation, but making important decisions out of desperation can have quite the consequences. You know, spending so many hours searching, there were definitely times when I thought to myself, okay, this apartment right here is fine, and I would try to convince myself to like all the things that I actually did not like at all, and I was basically ready to buy anything at one point. Like, I remember there was this one apartment that was actually quite nice, but it was in a different part of town that I didn't particularly enjoy, but I had gotten desperate and I actually put in an offer. Thankfully, I went to visit that area with my family and they were all like, Lana, come on, you don't actually want to live here. And they told me to ask myself, if I were to live here, would I feel excited to come home? And if the answer wasn't hell yes, then yeah, it wasn't. And so I actually withdrew my offer. You know, if you take a look at your life, I'm sure that you can remember at least one instance, although probably, you know, a few instances where you made desperate decisions. Perhaps out of frustration, loneliness, hopelessness, whatever your situation was. But I do believe that when you make decisions out of desperation, you'll always pay the price later. And that price is never worth it. Don't settle, but be realistic. Now, when you search for something long enough, I think it's quite normal that you start questioning yourself. You know, you ask, are my expectations unreasonable? And it's sometimes difficult knowing when to finally go, this one is the one. Whether we're talking about a job, an apartment, a friendship, dating, whatever. So what I had to do was I had to sit down and write. Okay, so the first thing I did was writing, what do I actually need in my new home? Like, what are the non-negotiables? And then the things that I really wanted, and then the things that were nice to have. Now, each of these, but especially the non-negotiables, had to be realistic, you know, otherwise I would most definitely never find a place. So I just went down that list. So location, non-negotiable. Good natural light,
non-negotiable. Ceiling height, I sort of had a minimum non-negotiable on that one, but beyond that, it was just nice to have. The point is, we all want it all. A job that fulfills certain criteria, a partner who ticks all the boxes, a home that looks like those on Pinterest. But at the same time, we all need to work with what we have and with where we are in life right now. But so how do you actually know if you are settling, in life and in general? I don't have the exact answer, but I think that one way that you can tell is when you have this unexplainable feeling in your stomach and in your heart that tells you, this just isn't it. It's when you have to continuously talk yourself into liking the situation that you're in. It's when the excitement and joy and warmth and love that you want to feel doesn't come naturally, but when you have to sort of convince yourself to feel those things. It's honestly when the whole thing feels more like a compromise rather than a wholehearted choice. Now, the home I ended up buying wasn't or isn't perfect at all, but do you know how I know that I didn't settle? Because no other home that came out on the market, no matter how amazing and promising it seemed, could make me enjoy and want my home less. I had already fallen in love. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Patience, and more patience. It takes time to find the right one. The whole entire process of buying a home requires so much patience, and so much of what's happening is out of your control. You need patience with the planning, with a mortgage, hearing back from realtors, hearing back from the bank, going on viewings, finding a place that you're interested in, putting in a bid, and then getting an offer, a counter offer, and then putting in another offer. It's a lot. It's all basically one big waiting game. Now, of course, you also need to be proactive and put in a lot of effort too, but yeah, you just have to wait a lot. It's part of the process. Now, what I have found and learned on patience is that I think it's most difficult when the thing that you're waiting for, when you don't know when it's gonna come. Will it be tomorrow, next week, next year? It's that unknown that is very uncomfortable and annoying. So as for what I've learned, well, that I am terribly impatient. But ultimately, I guess what I've learned, and it depends on the situation that you're in, of course, but in a situation like this, you may not be happy waiting, but you'll be happy you did once you've arrived.